Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Whittle, joining you from Dallas, Texas, here with Scott Ott in studio and our friend Steve Green, who is far away in Denver, Colorado, or in that general vicinity, I suppose we should say. I want to thank our NRA TV friends for letting us use their studio for these right angles this week. Really do appreciate it. And this is my story. And, there's and you too, Steve, there's an old line in Hollywood that if you've written like the most beautiful screenplay ever, and it's sensitive and it's touching and it's moving and people are crying and laughing alternately, and you hand it to the studio, they say, you know what this needs? It needs a talking dog. If this thing had a talking, and it's like, just shoot me. Well, as it turns out, 42-year-old hipster haven Saturday Night Live did something that, I hope you're sitting down, and those with a weak heart, might want to just take a moment. They made fun of themselves. They didn't just make fun of people that call Trump idiots. They made the people that call Trump idiots.
This is the live show that's on late Saturday night. That's
the one I'm talking about. Okay. I haven't seen anything this funny since More Cowbell, and I haven't seen anything this conservative since. Let's take a. I want to run the whole thing, but we'll look at a little over a minute of it. Check this out.
I like to play ball. I like Purple Bird in the window.
I think he means the pigeon. He's never spoken this much before. Now, Max, what else do you like?
I like Park and Leash. And I like Trump. He's my man.
Wait, what?
What did your dog just say?
It must be a translation error, some kind of glitch.
There's no glitch. Donald Trump is our president. He carried the Electoral College fair and square.
This can't be right. Did you know your dog likes Trump?
He doesn't.
I absolutely do. I know Trump has issues, but one big change is better than business as usual.
Okay, Max, no, you drop that right now. You don't like Trump.
The Dow was up 2,700 points since he was elected. What's not to like?
Your dog is a monster.
No, he's not. Just let me talk to him, Max. I'm sorry, but you're just a dog. You don't know what you're talking about.
Excuse me, Helen, but yes, I do. Stinking helmet. I can't believe you put this on me. It's just that's that condescending attitude that made people want to vote for Trump in the first place.
That is just absolutely epic. I got to say before we just talk about this just a little bit, because it doesn't really need a whole lot more than that. I just wanted an excuse to run it. That sketch is made by the guy who does the voice of the dog. The voice of the dog is great, and that was one of the best ad-libs I've seen in a long time. When the dog throws the helmet off and he says, this condescending attitude. But it was the delivery of the dog and everything. And the skit goes on and on and on. And it lists what the Trump has actually done. And it makes this dog sound like these people are just complete idiots, these people in the white lab coats.
And it never takes the turn you think it's going to take.
No, that's exactly right. So, Scotty, that's it. You watch something like this and you think, okay, they're setting us up. They're giving us little bits of bait so that when this whole thing turns around, but it doesn't. He's just a really smart dog.
It's like somebody hijacked the signal that night and just managed to slip in a 6-minute sketch.
That was funny.
Yeah. I mean, if you watch the open for that same show, it was so unfunny, and I usually do watch the clips of Saturday Night Live on YouTube. It was so unfunny, I thought, I'm not even going to bother watching any other clips, but I saw this thing with a dog, and I thought, well, maybe with a dog it could be funny. And I was stunned. And the whole time I'm watching, I'm keep thinking, okay, the other shoe's going to drop. I mean, the dog's going to start licking himself, and he's going to do something on the carpet, and then it's going to be about how stupid Trump supporters are. We're like dogs, It's like it never took that turn. It stayed funny all the way through, and it was reminded me of the reaction my conservative grandfather used to have to All in the Family. He would watch that show and he would be like, right on, Archie Bunker, that's absolutely right. Like he was agreeing with all his political positions. Meanwhile, Norman Lear and the boys were back there trying to make Archie Bunker look like a moron so that we would all think that Mike Stivic was the smart guy, meathead on the show, was actually the smart guy whose opinions were reasonable.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And here's the thing about it, Steve. That was just a taste of it. As the sketch goes on and on and on, these idiot scientists bring up all of their complaints against Trump, and this dog with this perfectly dry delivery just says, no, that's not true. Well, what about your friend, something like this? What about your friend Pepe the Chihuahua? Donald Trump's going to send him back to Mexico. And he says, Pepe's was born here in this country. He's got nothing to worry about. You know, and it's just brilliant. But here's my point, Steve. When somebody decides to let their guard down and write, and of course it has to be somebody else's voice, not even a person's voice. They have to give it to a dog. Yeah. What they're doing there is they're admitting that they know that all of this stuff that they constantly bombard Trump with and the media bombards him with is hooey.
Maybe they have a conservative writer there, but they couldn't get any of the actors to actually go on camera and say those words. So they say, well, what if we did it with a dog?
Not a chance. But Steve, this is my point, Steve. They know it's true. That was up 2,700 points in 3 weeks. What's not to like? And they know it's true, and they give it to this dog, and I don't know. It just this is like the only sanity I see on TV now. It makes everything else just completely ridiculous.
Let me, you may be right, but let me take this from kind of a different angle. What I would bet happened is, number one, these are New Yorkers. They're mostly cat people because they have tiny little apartments and they can't have a cool, awesome big dog like I have two of. So, you know, they've got a cat or maybe 9 cats. Who knows? And they started with this brilliant idea. Oh, you know what? We'll make a dog the Trump supporter. We'll have him say all these ridiculous things about Trump, and it'll make fun of all those Trump voters because they're as dumb as dogs. But in writing this, they came across a great universal truth that most Americans know, and that is dogs are awesome. Dogs are the best. Here, let me show you. I said I've got 2 of them. Here's one. This is Remy, my rescue girl.
What a good dog.
That's a stock photo from some collection.
That is my dog, Remy. You come here and you meet her. She speaks fluent Wookiee. She's totally awesome. And our other dog is a big, dumb golden named Ty. That's short for Tiberius, which is short for James Tiberius Kirk. And
you don't love Ty enough to have a photo of her? Him?
Him. Well, I do, but I didn't have a good one, and that I could pull up right away.
Steve, did you think that they used the dog? Nice.
There we go.
Did you think that they used the dog like the whole time, even till they actually shot the thing live? You think that they thought the conclusion people would draw was that Trump supporters are dopey dogs?
That's what they thought when they were writing the sketch, when they were developing it. But they came across this universal truth as they're putting the thing together that dogs are awesome. Let me share with you something my 6-year-old wrote in school just a couple of weeks ago for a writing assignment, Dogs versus Cats. He said, "I think dogs are best for me. My dogs are as cute as my cute face. When Preston scares me," that's his brother, "they growl at him. I love dogs. My dogs are the best." People love dogs. We trust dogs' judgment. They can tell a good guy from a bad guy. And the writers who did this sketch realized that, and they realized they couldn't turn it around. It's not that they didn't want to. They couldn't turn it around. And so we've got the dog's honest truth out of that sketch, and it was brilliant and it was funny.
Forgive my cynicism, but I'm going to put this into the Megyn Kelly phenomenon, because didn't NBC hire Megyn Kelly? Aren't they the network that picked up Megyn Kelly? Mm-hmm. So I think they're starting to realize that the country has turned on them, and they need to make some money. And so
like
pretty soon they're going to find. I mean, Fox has been very successful at making money off of this, sort of conservative movement for years. And I think finally NBC said, you know what, we love our liberalism, but we love our money even better.
Yeah, money always trumps liberalism eventually.
If you're one of those people that like cats better than dogs, hit like. If you like dogs better than cats, hit the subscribe button. And if you think all pets are really good, hit subscribe on the share button. That's exactly right. We're going to tally up the results, and whether dogs and cats are better, it's going to be dependent on you. Now,
if you like them all, go to PayPal and send. Yeah,
we'll figure it out. So, look, here's the thing, folks. Just this one little sketch did so much to disarm and reveal how bogus, and that's the only word I can think of, man, is just bogus. It's complete how bogus these attacks are. And this is what it would be like to live in a culture that was fair. I think some of the stuff they did that they've done about Trump, and Alec Baldwin stuff, some of that's hilarious. And the stuff they did about Larry David did on Bernie Sanders was just out of the box. All I want is a little bit of fairness. But what you see here is, if you did get a little bit of fairness, this country wouldn't lean anything like as far left as it would lean, because it's just like the story of the emperor's new clothes, right? This all person's made out of nothing. Barack Obama's whole reputation's based out of nothing. Trump's a monster, he's Hitler, and so on. And at the end, it's a boy or a dog that's the only one smart enough and the only one that doesn't care enough to tell you the actual truth. We'll tell you the truth, though, and we will be back with our regular right angles next week. Thanks again for our friends here at NRA TV in Dallas. Thanks for watching. I'm Bill Whittle. We'll see you next time.
Out of the mouths of pugs.